Nestled in the heart of historic downtown Wilkesboro, the 1915 offers a wedding experience like no other. Once a federal courthouse and post office, the 1915 combines rich history with timeless charm. From intimate gatherings to full-day rentals, we provide the perfect backdrop for your most cherished moments. With indoor and outdoor options, bridal and groom suites, every detail is crafted just for you. Make your wedding unforgettable at the 1915, Wilkesboro's historic wedding venue, where your story begins.
Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now and experience the unique essence of life in Wilkes.
Well, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's gingerbread season. Christmas is all over us now. I wanted to spend time with the Wilkes Literacy people again. Historically, and we talked about this, every year we get together and we talk about what the gingerbread competitions are all about. We talk about Wilkes Literacy. But this is the first year we're actually doing a post visit after the Gingerbread House Competition, so we can announce the grand winner, introduce her, and share that. So why don't you tell people who you are real quick, what the Gingerbread Competition is, and introduce the 2024 grand winner.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us, Carl. My name is Jean Hefner. I'm the Executive Director of Wilkes Literacy. Wilkes Literacy just celebrated its 35th year as a nonprofit in Wilkes County, and
Wow.
we help adults in our community with basic education, reading, writing, math. We also have a program that helps adults who want to earn their high school diploma, and then we have another program for adults that helps them learn English as a second language. And in the summer, we work with children and do some literacy summer camps. We also integrate health literacy into everything that we do with our adult students. And so we're really excited about the Gingerbread Festival. Really, that festival is a way for us to raise money to support the nonprofit and bring awareness to what we do in the community.
And it's a lot of fun, too, right?
It is a lot of fun. Our board is always on site, and we have a lot of our volunteer tutors who come and help us as well. And we feel like it's just a great way to celebrate Christmas and just be part of what we do in the community. And so it's a joy to put the Gingerbread Festival on each year.
I think the location you have now, I mean, when it started, it was great at Talia's in North Wilkesboro, but now being at the 1915, that looks like a gingerbread castle anyway, right?
It is certainly the ideal place, and we are very, very grateful to be hosted by Caitlin Werdeman and the Ison family. The 1915 is a beautiful venue. It's gorgeous even in the winter, and in the spring and the summer, of course, they have roses on their green area outside. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place, and we are thankful to be able to have the Gingerbread Festival there.
So technically, you could bump into someone at a gingerbread house competition, fall in love, and get married in the spring.
Aw. But then it'd have to be a Hallmark movie.
Oh, well, there you go. Then it would have to be that.
Well, Carl, we are very excited to introduce our grand prize winner this year in the professional category. This is Crystal Porte, and she is a new builder, and she came in this year to represent Carolina Dozer, and she made a fantastic build, and we're thrilled that she was able to participate.
Crystal, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did not expect to win.
My goodness, that's I hear that a lot, though, right, from people who win, because you're always you see your work when it gets there, and you see other people who do great things. You're like, oh, I don't know, maybe, but you did.
Well, the thing is, this is my first time entering, and I knew nothing of it. I didn't know what to expect,
Right.
and I kind of miss, since we're newcomers to Wilkesboro. We bought a property 4 years ago, but we're now here permanently. I miss the holiday parties of my friends back down south, and I kind of wanted to do something to get into the holiday spirit. And I figured, okay, a gingerbread house. I used to teach gingerbread classes through Wilton Cake Decorating when I was an instructor. And it was just like, okay, I'll do this, maybe meet some new people and have some fun. And then after I entered, I was like, you know what, it would be fun to do this with my mom. So I asked her and I said, Mommy, will you help me? Right. She is literally steps away. And so she made the little snowman on there, and it was cute because she put a real carrot on its nose, and it started falling out. Right. And then when you pulled it out, it looked like boogers. So we're like, well, Frosty has a cold. But luckily, Frosty's nose stayed. But we started this on the Tuesday before the competition, or I should say I started this. So we were in Canada the week prior, and we've just been really busy with building our house. And so I was building a house, building a gingerbread house.
You've been building a stick and mortar.
Yes.
A real house. I've
been doing the detail work. We didn't literally build the house. We had people do that know what they're doing.
Right.
But so it came down to the wire, and I told my yoga class on Tuesday, they were like, come play pickleball with us. And I was like, no, I need to go home and bake a gingerbread house for the competition. And then one of my students, Jim, he goes, oh, that's a real big deal. And I was like, uh-oh. I had no idea what to expect.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, a lot of people come to it. And then that Friday morning when I went to go teach my step class, one of my students goes, we get one every year. I was like, what do you mean you get one? She's like, we bid on one and we take one home. I'm like, what do you do with it? And she said, we keep them, we wrap them up, and we've only had that 1 year that we had to toss it away. And after a year of it being stored, because I guess like I asked you before, the mice had gotten to it in the attic or something. But I didn't know it was such a big deal, so I didn't know what to expect. And I, of course, waited till the last minute to do it. So I did not expect to win. So when I say that, I honestly didn't think I would.
It was going to happen.
Yeah.
But to be honest, you are qualified, though, because you had baked before, right? So you had the fundamental background to do it. You just hadn't done it.
And I didn't know, how elaborate people go with these. So when I spoke to Jean on the phone, and she kind of convinced me to go into the professional category, I was like, okay, well, we'll see. And I'll just go and get my feelers in there for this year, and then maybe next year win.
Jean, how did that work? Because the sponsor, what's the bulldozer guy?
Carolina Dozer.
So Carolina Dozer. So they're the sponsor. So is that how it works? So you have a sponsor for each of the houses, and then you find the builders, or? Well,
I can answer that part, actually. Okay. A friend of ours is Kyle, and he owns Carolina Dozer. And I went to him and I was like, hey, I want to do a gingerbread house, but they're kind of expensive. Right. I said, will you front me, a little bit to just pay for some materials, and then I'll put your name on it. And that way I get to get the festivities, I get to do it. He gets business, and she encouraged having businesses on it too.
Of course. So what did he say? You go up.
He said, sure.
Did he say, you're doing what?
No, he was just like, sure, whatever. He's such an easygoing guy.
Right. All right. So that's why the bulldozer is there.
That's why the bulldozer. Okay. Plus, who doesn't love excavators and tractors?
And his name again is Kyle.
Kyle Michaud.
Okay, I saw his name on the bid sheets all over the place.
Yes.
He and I were going against each other on a few things.
Yeah, he went there and kind of had fun.
Yeah. But that's good. Well, that speaks to the spirit of the competition as well, is a lot of people understand that who are bidding know that this is for a very worthy cause. And that really is ultimately what it's about, right?
It is. And we know that a gingerbread house is a labor of love, and it does take a lot of time, and so we view each house as a gift. It really is a gift to Wilkes Literacy. It supports our programs. And so we have had in the past some businesses that have participated. And for this year, we had Waggles come in and do a really cute build for their first gingerbread build.
I love that one.
We've had other nonprofits come in. Safe Spot, their director, Cindy Hartley, was a new builder this year. And the Justice Project, we had Nikki Brady. We also had the Understudies, which is a new nonprofit. So we have some, other agencies that participate.
What were these people telling you after they get there, get set up, and they're coming back in to see things on the last day? Are they excited to be involved? They're like, oh, this is really a good thing to do.
I sure hope so. Certainly you can see the joy, the excitement, looking around and seeing what everyone else has contributed, and just feeling like you're part of the whole celebration. And we really do want to highlight the people that build for us because we couldn't do it without them. And so I try my best to not only put their information on social media, but just make sure that it's included on their sign. We talk about their businesses and the other agencies as people come through and just highlight the great things that everyone does. In particular, Kyle's business, everyone immediately just sort of recognized where he was and who he was, and because his business is visible, I think, from 421. And so they would ask, oh, is it that guy? And I could be like, yeah, that's him. And so it was.
So who won the house? Do you know?
My house?
Yes.
Kyle.
Oh.
And he sent me a video. It's on display in his work shed, I guess, garage.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's important to a guy, his garage, right? So it's,
yeah, well, it's his off of 421. You can see it there. So anybody who wants to steal it now you know where it is.
Well, that's another story, right? Did he bring his bulldozer and carry it all the way?
He probably should have.
Yeah, I would have.
I had to bring it in 2 pieces. Yeah. He called me and he's like, "How do I take apart this?"
I was wondering that when we were looking as we were walking around and doing judging. I was like, how the heck are you going to do that?
Well, I think Jean is probably a big part of that too, because when people were coming in, she was looking to see how everybody was assembling, and I asked her, I said, do you coach people when they're taking these homes, these gingerbread homes back, not to break them and stuff? So
did it work?
As far as I know, we do have a team that's there on Saturday to help load and move, and because some of them are quite heavy, and so as far as I know, it's been smooth sailing so far.
It's
yes.
Good. You have to send us a picture of Kyle's display so we can include that. So let me ask you a question. You said something when you first started talking about you're new to Wilkes County. So you said south, so is Florida, is that right?
Right.
Correct? And then your husband's from up north, right? Alaska. So, and you've been in Wilkes County now how long?
We bought our property in March of 2020.
Okay.
Right when we were meeting people to show, when we were looking at a bunch of different properties around Boone and Wilkesboro, where nobody knew whether to bump elbows, shake hands, what was going on.
Oh, so. Sure. It was one of those. Yeah, that was a strange
It was in the very
moment.
beginning.
Sure. So that happened. You bought the property, but how did you settle on Wilkes County? What was it about this specific county that you said, oh, that's nice?
Well, in the area, we went up to Boone and we looked around there, and we just wanted a place where we could mountain bike, because we both like mountain biking, and my husband likes to hunt, and we wanted water, and we saw this place, and my husband fell in love, and we looked at some other properties, and we ultimately went back to this place. And then, unbeknownst to us, we find Kerscott Reservoir, which has 40 miles of mountain biking if you go both directions.
It's perfect.
And we didn't even know that, which is amazing. I mean, we can mountain bike on our own property, and I know there's Rocky Knob around, and Cub Creek, which we love as well. But it was just amazing to be like, wow, this was just meant to be, to have.
And people come from all over the world to do the trail at the reservoir.
And I mean, and then to have Merle Fest here every year and have a big gathering like that annually. And I love.
Are all those things that just fit your family perfectly?
Yeah. And the downtown areas being so decked out for all the holidays. And I love the old school buildings. I did architecture at UF for 3 years. So I love to admire old buildings and what people have put into them in the past and everything. So we love it here. And my parents moved up here then just...
After you did?
After we did, yeah.
Okay. So it's one of those stories about people finding the charm and resources, because it's not just charming people, but we actually have wonderful natural resources. So we know you love Wilkes County. It's a home that you're happy to be here, it sounds like, and you've gotten involved with a wonderful charitable organization. Just from your perspective, and I'd say professional perspective, in the fact that you're obviously in a health conscious, mindful type of a business. That's part of what your life is built around. You love the outdoors. What are those what are those assets and lessons that even this short period of time that you've been able to embrace, you and your husband have been able to embrace, that sometimes because of your work at the Y and the Silver Sneakers, you become aware that not everybody's taking advantage of all the good things, right? And I don't know that that's an uncommon thing no matter where you are, because people get in a rut, right? What do you think the values are and the benefits of enjoying the reasons that you came here for everybody that lives here?
We have so many reasons, though. And as far as health consciousness and everything, I say everything in moderation. You know, too much of anything is not good for us. So, but
All right. So
everybody's got the reasons. And you know what I'm surprised, too, with as big as Merle Fest is, not a lot of people attend it, which I thought it was such a big deal that the whole community would come to it, since we have people coming from across the country to it. And a lot of people are like, I'm staying far away from that. I'm not going to that. And I figured it would be such a small town thing where everybody would come, but
well, people do go. It's just people go that are from other places. It's like, you know, the race events and things that draw, but you have the local people that, yes, that's us 100%, and then the others that are over here, no, that's not us, you have that, and we're going to go do this. So that seems to be the way this community is, don't you think, Jen? You're from another place too, Louisiana.
I am, and I'll say, I mean, I didn't know what to make of Merle Fest at first, you know, but I love it. It's become a tradition for me. I go volunteer, and so I think a lot of our community plugs in as volunteers for that event.
Hundreds of volunteers.
It's one of my favorite things to do because I feel like I see Wilkes County all in one day. And so Wilkes Literacy has gotten a grant from the Women's Service League of Wilkes, and they are the ones that usually man the T-shirt tent.
Right.
And I'll go volunteer sort of as a thank you for the grant that Wilkes Literacy receives. And I think on Thursday I'll usually see hundreds of people, and it's just the most fun and the best experience. And I love the music, but it's the people that sort of make Merle Fest fun for me and a worthwhile event. But yeah, I think the reopening of the Speedway too. I think we're beginning to see more and more, and I think investment in our community. Certainly, some new businesses coming into, which is really exciting, and hopefully some growth too. And I keep hearing like Crystal's family, just trickling of families that sort of understand and see what we have to offer here, and that it's a really great place to live. It's a great place to bring your family.
Right.
We really feel very blessed to have our children here and to be able to raise them in this community with.
So your families come. So you and your husband are here now.
And we brought our father-in-law.
And you brought your father-in-law.
Yes.
So you're here. You brought your folks. Do you have other family members that may come along?
And so my daughter resides between Florida and here. She's 17. She's a junior in high school, and she is dying to go to App State.
Nice.
So she loves it here, too. And we have so many friends and family that, just this week that are texting me, hey, I've got my daughter, time sharing for custody and stuff. Hey, I've got my daughter. I've got my kids. Can we come up and visit? And so everybody always wants to come visit.
So we're going to see the citizenry of Wilkes County trickle up, right? From those good experiences. And I think that's valuable, and it's real. Talking about the crowds and the numbers of people locally in a lot of smaller communities, the opinions of what a big crowd is vary greatly.
That's true.
Varies greatly. So for some, 40,000's not enough. And for others, it's like, wow. That's a lot.
One of my friends texted me, it was a few weeks ago, and he's like, so how is it living out in the middle of nowhere? And I was like, it's okay. Like, it's not too bad. And I was like, what do you mean, though? He said a word that I didn't recognize. And I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, aren't you like 30 miles from the nearest grocery store? And I was like, no. And my husband goes, I'd never get anything done if I were more than 15 minutes away from Lowe's.
Right. It's really interesting because when people make those comments, and people everywhere, all over the world, they have thoughts like that. But at the core of everything we hear now And it's not new. It's, when we think about our faith and philosophies and modes of living, finding those places to relax and breathe and do your earthing work and all of those things is such an important high priority thing to have good health now. It's really talked about. Your social media, you see it everywhere, and the guys, you watch social media and you got 5 people hypnotizing you, and all these things are happening. People talking about yoga and goat yoga and all these things. And so it's funny to me that and I was in the same boat because I traveled all the time. And I like being here now because it is possible to come into Main Street and not feel like, even during the deepest of rush hour, I'm not exactly sure what time that is, but at any time of the day, 24 hours of the day, I don't feel like, oh, that's just terrible traffic.
Right.
And you can always stop at a coffee shop. People know your name. You stop. Wherever you stop, people know you, or they act like they know you. And that's a nice thing. So maybe the thing that we have, and the thing that others may say, well, it takes you 30 minutes to get to the grocery store. Yeah, but I stopped. I fished along the way. I did, I did a little biking. I met some people from Paris. I met some people from Canada. I married one of them. I did all these things. And, just having that experience, it's really a luxury. It's like going to a retreat. Right? And Wilkes County is the largest county in the state of North Carolina. So it's like we have the largest retreat experience in the Carolinas. That's pretty nice. And all the fantasy to go with it. I can enter a gingerbread competition, never done it before, and be a champion the very first year.
Well, and she really is like a local celebrity already. And I didn't tell you this, but as people would come through, all of your students from the YMCA would be like, oh my goodness, and that's my instructor. and I just got more comments about that, about how much they appreciate you, which I thought was wonderful. And, already just being a year, you said you've been around and working in the Y and just making a difference, and that's sort of who we are.
Great. That's great stuff.
So you're already a local celebrity, not just because of your gingerbread.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I think it balances out, right? If you're going to talk about physical health and being healthy there, and you need that to balance out the gingerbread craze you're starting. What are your friends? Do they ask you? Do they know? Do your students know you won?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
really?
I've already been to yoga yesterday. So.
Do they ask, can I have some gingerbread? Do they ask you that? So are you saying now gingerbread is endorsed as a recommended daily allotment? Can I have that with my vitamin D, C?
I don't know. Do a lot of people like gingerbread to actually eat it?
I was about to say, Carl construction grade gingerbread is not necessarily the best thing to eat.
I know, but that's not how we think. We just smell
my chickens really like to have some of the scraps.
Your chickens?
Yeah. They enjoyed all the scraps that, I broke the roof.
Do the eggs smell a little bit like
I'll let you know in a week. No, but I broke the roof when I was making it, and I stupidly leaned over because I had to construct it on the ground because it was just so big I couldn't reach over the table, and my knee went into one of the roof pieces, and I was like, ah. And then I accidentally knocked the other one. I was like, okay, guess we're baking some more.
Brings to the idea of putting yourself into it. Takes it to another level. Well, that's great. I'm glad the chickens got some. The chickens will eat a lot of things.
They will eat anything.
Yeah, that's great. Well, next time you can bring your favorite chicken and have it lay a gingerbread egg right there. That'd be great. Or maybe you could just film that.
Don't tempt me. I have a couple favorites you might have.
That's wonderful. Well, I think this has been fantastic. We have 4 winners this year, right?
Yes, we do.
So this is our grand champion. You've got. Now, here, someone asked me. When we visited a few times during the competition, someone said, "Carl, what do you have to do to enter as a professional?" And I merely said, well, there's a guideline, but you just really have to be good and proven yourself in life to be a good character. And he's like, really?
Well, I suggested on the phone to Crystal that she enter as a professional because she's done it before. I mean, she mentioned she had built before, and a lot of our amateurs, even the ones that won this year, their
windmill,
their first build was last year, and so we have a lot of people that are still new to the competition and coming in that haven't ever built with gingerbread before. And so when we were talking on the phone, I mentioned, it sounds like you've done this before, and if you want to do a bigger build, because we do allow the professional houses to be larger.
Right.
You might want to think about entering as a professional. Truly, I leave it up to them.
Right.
I don't dictate who enters in what category, but I give my best guidance as I can based on their experience. Obviously, Dom's is a professional team.
Sure.
They're incredibly talented, and they always enter as a professional. We have other builders that feel more comfortable in that category just because they have more experience. But,
and they're going to be judged more critically also.
They are. They do have to have more of their gingerbread visible. Mm-hmm. So our professionals, we need to see, the quality of their gingerbread.
Right.
It needs to
Show
be
us
visible.
your gingerbread.
Yes.
Don't hide it, so we don't know if it's a piece of plywood.
Yes.
That's right.
When we release the information in August and we allow people to start signing up, we put the baker's guide on the website, and all of that information is there so that there's always a resource they can go to. We even share gingerbread recipes. So I have one that was gifted to me, and then I have another that one of our Grove Park builder friends has given me to share with the builders. And so we do our best to try to give them as many resources as we can to make their build successful. But everybody uses something different and has tweaked their own, the ones that have built before, they bring something that's their own into it and do it their own way, which I think is great.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, once again, congratulations on being the grand prize winner for 2024.
Thank you.
You're getting ready to take off because you've got to go to the Y.
Yep.
And after all this gingerbread talk, what are you going to be teaching today?
Silver sneakers.
Silver, and that's a lot of movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anybody can come. A lot of people think it's only for old people. And my daughter, who's 17, it's actually her favorite class.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So anybody can go.
Anybody can go. You don't have to be any age. Everybody can come take it.
You just need to have silver sneakers. No, they don't
Well,
have
today
to.
I'm going to be in these shoes because I probably don't have time to change. So
Okay.
you
Great.
just need shoes.
Yes, wear shoes, please. Well, that's wonderful. Well, great to meet you again. Congratulations, and hopefully this will inspire people to enter 2025. And as soon as you take off, we're going to run the credits on all the other winners.
Yay.
Because we want to encourage everyone to be part of the Wilkes Literacy program and help perpetuate the love of gingerbread.
Absolutely. And we are so grateful. We're grateful for every house, every child, every adult that built one. It was a great year, Carl, and it was really special. We had 60 gingerbread entries this year, and we are just thrilled with how everything went.
No, that's wonderful. Okay, ladies, we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Don't worry about it. I know you've got a lot on your mind.
In the professional category, congratulations to Crystal Porte. Congratulations to Juliana Isom, the under-18 amateur category winner. Congratulations to Cindy Critcher, the 2024 People's Choice Category Award winner. In the adult amateur category, congratulations to Kathy Webster and Donna Svartek. Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share this show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.